Mix it and master it.
Yeah, I'll just send it to John and have him do it instead.
I can master.
No, I'll send you a
He's
file.
the master at mastering.
I'll just
Does that mean it's going?
throw in a
Is it
little bit of
blinking red?
extra.
I think we're going.
Then we're going. Hello.
Hello.
We can't rehash that conversation.
No, we're
No, we
Yeah.
can't. No.
We're not talking
They'll
about
just never
Smell-O-Vision.
know.
Welcome to
And
the
we-
Role Slayers podcast, now on fine video format.
In Smell-O-Vision on YouTube.
On
Thanks
three,
to Mr.
take a-
YouTube.
Take a
YouTube
big whiffy.
6K.
Take a big whiff of your screen on 3. 1, 2,
2,
3.
All right. Is this episode 38? 37?
37.
37. Welcome to episode 37.
Feeling Fevin.
I actually know someone named Fevin. I don't think you should feel her.
You don't.
I do.
I know a Devin.
Yeah.
I know a few. Well, I mean, I've known a few.
Kevin?
I know a Kevin.
Oh, feeling Kevin. There we go.
37 feeling Kevin.
Why not
That's
the
the one.
simplest? It feels like heaven.
No, that's so lame. Brian Adams did that one in.
All right.
So, why don't we get into announcements? Jeremy, do you have any announcements?
Yeah, so I guess. So we use audio to make this podcast, and the audio. Do you have something?
No, I don't.
Oh, I had a look in your eye. I was
No,
like, I'm
I
waiting
didn't.
for a pun. Okay, so all right, so we use music to enhance your experience and kind of the immersion, and honestly to kind of hide some of the weird noises in between dialogue and fill some of the gaps. I think it works wonderfully. But to check those people out, beyondskyrim.org. The Beyond Skyrim project is awesome and provides the majority of the music that you hear on our podcast, if not all of it. And then
Pretty much all.
Sirenscape.com. Check them out. You can play with slide ears, digital ones, and you can create your own soundscape. I wanted to have
Your
something
own
clever, but
sirens.
You always feel like you're almost have it, and then
I don't have it. I got
Every single
squat. I was thinking about other things on the way here.
It's all right.
You got to write something.
Oh, that's a good idea. All right, sorry. I'll do better.
So, I've got a really cool world fact for today.
Oh, I can't wait. I
So-
love
I'm
your
really
world
excited.
facts.
I'm really excited, actually.
Okay, so when we're thinking about history of the world, we tend to compartmentalize it. And naturally so, because like things didn't happen all in the same era, except when you're thinking about different parts of the world all at once. Maybe they did. So during the Civil War, you know how like
Cleopatra was alive. I've heard this.
no. But like when we think about foreign powers during the Civil War, during the American Civil War, we think about like France and England and the way that they hung back and were kind of waiting on feeling out the economic impact of slavery ending before they stepped in, right? But Siam, during the Civil War, during 1863, the King of Siam sent an envoy to President Lincoln, where he gave Lincoln, well, first of all, a photograph of himself,
That's nice.
some elephant tusks,
My favorite.
and an offer of elephants, war elephants, to assist in
Yes.
the Civil War.
Wow.
That would have been so metal.
Wow.
I know, right? And Lincoln's response was essentially, I think we've got it covered with steam power.
Oh, where's your sense of imagination?
I know, right?
Strap some cannons on those bad boys.
But I heard this the other day, and ever since then, my imagination has just been racked by this. Like, the King of Siam is offering Abraham Lincoln elephants to help him subdue the Confederacy. And Abraham Lincoln is saying, we got steamships and steam-powered trains. We can handle it. And so in terms of world building, I'm thinking like, what strange things coincide in the world, not in the same place, but where it would be really odd for some foreign power to offer assistance in this form. Oh gosh, but I'm still thinking about just how cool it would have been if Abraham Lincoln had sent a troop of war elephants with General like McClellan or somebody over the Appalachian Mountains, like Hannibal over the Alps. Actually, Abraham Lincoln's vice president's name was Hannibal Hamlin. Anyways, that's all well beside the point. Check out our World Anvil affiliate link as a way to help you to solidify your own world building and think of like really cool, weird things like that. Hopefully you can come up with something as cool as exists in the real world, right? But our affiliate link is worldanvil.pxf.io/rollslayers.
There it is.
Well, I'm just going to say, follow us on all our social media platforms. We got Twitter for existing. We got Instagram. We got YouTube. We got, what else we got? TikTok. Now I feel like Hayden.
Facebook. It's hard
Facebook.
to remember them all.
Truth Social.
No.
No!
I don't believe we're on that one.
Sorry, I can't even say that ironically.
Yeah. We're trying to promote the places we actually are, and you guys are making up.
We have a Reddit.
No, we don't.
Not. We
No.
should probably do that. We got a Discord. You can get in the Discord.
Oh, we do.
That's
Join the
fun.
Discord. Yeah, we have some custom
Oh yeah, you
emotes
can get
done
in
by
our
Rachel.
DMs, our Discord messages,
Yeah, we send lots of memes and basically talk about nonsense.
our Discord
It's great.
memes.
It's great. Last but not least, thanks as always to Eldritch Foundry, where you can get some really awesome minis for custom make. And there's
there's
one of our
here.
minis right
There
now.
you go.
Yeah.
You'll get a better look on Instagram and Facebook
We've been
and
talking about
TikTok.
finger guns. Look at these finger guns. Look at that.
It just
He's
came
going to
in.
cast lightning bolt on you.
I left Vern at home. Sorry, everyone.
Come on.
I know.
Tardy to the party.
Yeah.
Well, next time.
But cruel. Cruel.
No.
Next
right.
episode. Next episode. But with that, let's jump into our game.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So, last we left off, the party had decided to investigate rumors of a giant crocodile named Old Snaggletooth, turning certain sailors and fishermen into viscera.
Wasn't that Molly Ringwald's nickname?
I have no idea.
No, it surely wasn't Old Snaggletooth. Anyways, keep going.
They shopped around on their options for how to lure the beast out, eventually renting a pullboat with a large quantity of meat piled on a tinser's floating disc behind them, thinking themselves clever. But the green dragon that was hunting them was more clever, as it knocked them into the river and proceeded to fight them, where it was mercilessly and brutally murdered, and then its head cut off by a lightning bolt from Cyrus. And that is where we left off. I believe Vern was wanting to drag the head onto the pullboat.
If
Is that
I'm not
correct?
mistaken, we did get its head.
You did? I know you can get... I'm just saying, is that what you wanted to do? Bring it onto the pullboat?
Yeah, we gotta get
Okay.
the head back.
So Vern swims up and
Trophies.
Well, we have to prove it.
plonks a green dragon head onto your pullboat. It takes up about half of the boat itself, and it is a bigger boat than the one that you took up from Riverbend too. So it's a big head.
Well, are we all feeling well?
I'm not too bad off myself. How are you? Bells, Lynn, Cyrus?
Yes, I'm fine for the most part.
So this was a dragon.
That much is plain.
Well, it was quite a surprise, is all.
Well, the question is there still an old snaggletooth out there that we need to take down? And
I don't think that there is an old Snaggletooth, Vanuthra. I think that this is new Snaggletooth.
Alin, did it say anything to you that you understood or...
Nothing of consequence.
You guys,
Can I just clear the air and say, I think I had, this is John, the player, talking. I think I had a friend in college who called Molly Ringwald that, and it's just stuck in my mind ever since.
Well, I'm glad you cleared that up.
Okay, because
I fact checked it, John, and you're right.
Okay.
I assume you guys are starting to make your way back to the
Yeah.
port beneath
Yeah.
the bridge.
How's that? Is there a crowd for us?
Well, you guys were out in the middle of the river. It wasn't really.
I'll go.
You guys were kind of fairly distanced from it, but there is, a fair amount of fishermen who are not fishing, kind of waiting around to see what happens, who are watching as you kind of pull your way into the river, come up to the side of the dock, and then I assume pick up this giant green dragon head, and they're all just kind of staring, Mr. Lectos included.
here. We have defeated your old snaggletooth.
Vanuthra, you might want to note that it was probably not old Snaggletooth. This is clearly new Snaggletooth.
we have defeated a green dragon that was terrorizing your boats.
And they all just start to kind of like cheer and clap and they show their approval. It looks like business can start back as usual. You see them start to bustle away and start readying their boats, making their nets ready, all sorts of stuff.
Can I bless the river?
Sure. What would you like? How would you like to bless the river?
I'd like to just take the swords and kind of start at the close to the pommel or the hilt and go shing and bring one into the water and just ask that the bounty, that the fish that they catch be many.
And a platinum glow ripples out on the water in little waves.
Lytton, what did you just do?
Just really wanted to bless the river and hope that these people were able to catch a lot to make up for all the trouble. They were not able to fulfill their livelihood because of that dragon's interference. I wanted to make it right.
On behalf of dragons everywhere.
Well, just so they could make some more money and take care of their families. Seemed like the right thing to do.
Well, that's one way to bless a river. Not the way I did it a few moments ago.
Yeah, I think the brute force was what really blessed them.
Well, that's what we used to say when we were going to take.
I mean, are we going
We were
to ignore?
going to the bathroom in the river. We blessed the river.
Oh,
That's-
I see.
That's an old.
So how would one bless the rain?
With extreme precision and skill.
Drag me away from you.
I'm so sorry.
It's around that time that a small contingent of Mr. Lectos
We were just
reluctantly
blessing the
approach.
river.
As you seemingly have killed a giant green lizard that flies, they approach. One of them kind of walks up.
The Guild of Goodwill.
Should probably talk to our bosses about this and talk to people. You should probably go to the castle. That's a big head.
We would happily.
Okay. Yeah, just make your way there. We don't need to. You can do it.
We are going to make so much money.
But we're not in it for the income. We're in it for the outcome.
Of course, but
Right, Lynn?
look, we went out there for the outcome, but here we are enjoying some income.
The income is nice.
I suspect that this will probably fetch us a higher price than old Snaggletooth might have.
Well, I, for one, Vern, Guild of Goodwill, slogan or not, am in it for the income.
Fair enough. I do
I-
agree with the
I'm
captain.
not turning my nose up at the income. Right on in.
Well, I don't know what to say to that, Cyrus.
Alin, think of all the wonderful things you can do with the income.
Money's just such a trouble.
I have to agree it's not my favorite, but then I mostly just ate fish for most of my life, so, I can appreciate the finer things now that I've experienced some of them.
Yes, you've become quite the economist.
I don't know about that, but I have come to appreciate the dessert cart.
The dessert cart, the crushed velvet, the hotel bathrobes.
Oh, no.
I do appreciate the dessert cart.
We all have to appreciate the dessert cart.
Reverent silence.
And of course, your cardamom, your fall spices, they come, from a certain amount of trade.
Oh, yes.
In the meantime, I'm just more curious what they're going to do now that they've discovered that it wasn't just an alligator. I mean, at the top levels, of course.
Are you guys heading to Deepwater Keep?
Yes, let's find out.
Yes, absolutely. And you do know the difference between a crocodile and an alligator, right?
Is it the snoot?
Well, one of them sees you later, the other sees you in a while.
Can you extrapolate a little bit more? I'm afraid I don't understand.
Best not. Let's get going.
Was it another joke? It was another joke, wasn't it, Cyrus?
The thing about some jokes is you don't really understand them until you grown.
Yes, much like that.
I'm sorry.
And you guys make your way back up the carved stairways up through the city into the main thoroughfare, much like you came up the first time you came to the city, and then into the northern expanse. They know your faces now. You don't have to argue your way in as much, and eventually you do come to the Deepwater Keep. Again, they're asking you to hand over your weapons and, the whole song and dance, and then you are allowed to enter. The Kitagora doesn't seem to be here right now, but you do see her head guard. You didn't catch his name, the tiefling, and the half-orc woman talking in the gallery. They kind of look over as you guys approach. One of the Mystalectos announcing you.
Who's gonna do the talking?
I'm waiting for the Mystalectos to announce me.
The Guild of Goodwill.
Yes.
That's us.
I dropped the dragon head on the ground.
Yeah,
Just push it
I
off
assume
the
you had
disc,
just
right?
brought it into the chamber as well.
It was on the disc, I think. I'm just gonna kind of push it off the disc.
I'm still just thinking of the beginning of Thor Ragnarok, where the head gets cut off and just slides across the floor.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Oh, sorry about that. I'll make sure to take care of that.
No trouble. I assume this is old Snaggletooth.
He turned out to be a much greater danger than some alligator, some large beast. He's a veritable dragon. A green dragon.
Yes, I can see that. You hear the half-orc woman kind of chuckle. You killed that.
Yes, we did.
For no small effort. Some of us were wounded somewhat.
We made short work of it.
I have a little more respect for you. So, you want to get paid?
That's the idea.
I mean, we
we
certainly
came-
wouldn't turn it down.
We came to reassure you that even though the danger was large, it's been put to rest. You now know the full size of the threat. You know that it is vanquishable, and should anything similar come and attack your town, then you would be safe.
Yes, well, the city of Oromond has had trouble with green dragons in the past. Best not to let them grow in threat and size. That said, our coffers are not equipped to reward you for such a valiant feat, so I will have to send someone to Callian to uncover what sort of bounty they have set aside for such a beast.
Don't let your heart be troubled. We're just happy to help.
Well, I'll have someone up there in the morning, one of our mages. Perhaps Master Plolul will be back in town. I know he had some errands in the Kingdom of Alder, but until then, we know your residence and we can send it to you, or if you have business with the Master, perhaps you can stop by his tower.
Yes, thank you. If I may, this is the second time we've heard of the financial distress of Drasba. Is there anything, I guess, your resources are going toward a certain effort, correct?
We
battle?
are setting aside funds for the state in case certain political things happen. The Kitagora could speak on it more. I'm just her head guard.
Okay. Well, I trust that you'll keep the Guild of Goodwill close at hand for any additional work or needs that Drasba may have.
You operate as mercenaries as well as adventurers.
Yes.
We're not mercenary. It's true that sometimes we commit violence but in order to help people.
Mercenaries.
Mercenaries.
We can be hired.
Please
But
take our
we're
name
not.
quite literally.
We're not simply for the highest bidder.
What he means to say is that we reserve our own
We
to our own code.
We reserve the
So-
right to decline our service if we feel that it is necessary.
Of course, by mercenary, I mean it in the most formal term of one state or political faction hiring sworn swords on a contract basis to fight a war.
Yes, the world's oldest profession.
And you're saying that on a case-by-case basis, you are indeed open to mercenary work.
Well, you used the word war. I don't think such ventures are part of our purview.
Not a problem. I just wanted to clarify the services you offer in case the Kitagora might need use of them. Make use of them.
Of course, we're happy. Any threats to the city, any threats to the innocent.
He already tried to get him hired as a mercenary himself, says the orc woman, pointing at Vinny.
More of a messenger, if you will.
We've discussed this at length, and we shall leave our discussion at what we've derived at and conveyed here today.
I suppose on the books we may be mercenaries, but we are the Guild of Goodwill, and we put a lot of thought into that name, believe it or not. And we do take the idea that we are a Guild of Goodwill quite seriously.
Fair enough, says the orc woman. And after killing a green dragon, you have a bit more respect for me. Spits on the ground in the nice, shiny, marble-polished floor gallery.
Well, I should think so.
We'll have your money sent. She seems to turn and leave, with the tiefling kind of bowing his head apologetically. She's gruff.
Yes.
If our business is concluded.
Yes.
Very well. Have a good evening. Or midday.
It's like 11 a.m., isn't it?
It's like probably pushing 12, maybe.
I mean, it's such an unnatural thing to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is all the vibe of Bilbo saying good morning to make Gandalf leave.
Yep.
After Gandalf, like, didn't he expound upon all the different ways in which someone might use good
Yes.
morning?
Yeah.
Just, and now you are trying to use it to wish me away.
It,
Good
it reminds
morning.
me of Scrooge when they said, when they come looking, what is that? There's a part where Scrooge,
Afternoon.
right? Or I feel like in Christmas Carol, there's a similar dialogue. But as they walk away without a word, Vinny just waves his hand and cleans up the blood or any of the
All the-
and the spit and
Yeah.
everything, just kind of like it just.
A little green kind of swoosh of energy over the ground, and it is sparkling clean. Now just a head that is continuing to ooze liquid on the floor.
What do you think they're going to do with it?
Oh, who even knows?
Feed it to some larger beast, or the dogs. I don't know.
Well, sometimes they'll take the bones and use them for either decoration or armor or utensil.
Yeah, I mean, the different parts of the dragon can be used for different magical purposes. Sometimes with smithing, and sometimes just with alchemy. And I'm sure they'll find.
Cyrus, you sound like a veritable wizard.
Well, I have had a few
There he
decades
is.
of training. Thank you very much.
And as you guys are walking off, you do see four of the stronger looking guardsmen pick up the head and start to haul it off.
Hold on for just one moment. May I?
I'm gonna try to pop a tooth out for having.
Sure, you crack one out.
This came out easier than I thought. I guess they're designed for that. Puts it into his pouch. It's a souvenir. Show it off.
Right. Do you think anyone will believe you in your adventures when you go home?
Maybe. Probably not.
The look of the tooth, it is either a very large alligator tooth or a very young dragon tooth. So it could go 50-50 in terms of convincing people.
Well, I mean, and where did this tooth even come from? A dragon? A coatl? Any number of wild beasts we've
Taking a
encountered.
coatl tooth as well. Maybe if I carve dragon into it, that will convince people.
Perhaps.
Just carve the
Know what to
elvish
get
rune
Vern for
dragon.
Christmas, a label maker.
Who would go through the effort of carving dragon into a not dragon's tooth? It's patently absurd.
Who indeed?
So exiting Deepwater Keep and collecting your weapons. The rest of the day is yours. What would you like to do?
I believe we had an appointment with Tot.
Yes,
That
I
is
think that
tomorrow
is
morning.
Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., right?
10:30.
10:30.
I still haven't worked out fantasy times or anything like that, so
You know,
Sure. They still operate by the o'clock measurement.
yeah, we'll have a BCE CE moment eventually where we'll switch everything.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
I do wonder, how much do you think that dragon was worth to them?
I'm sure it's worth more than they are willing to pay us.
Well, if you remember, they haven't paid us a dime. Or
Yeah. But
Copper.
a copper. They're not one copper dropped.
It's not like it's some local lord. I believe that these cities are probably a bit more put together in terms of paying their contractors.
you would think a city of this size.
It's a bit shocking, yes.
It's a society, and society's formed on its contracts, its oaths. If people make promises they don't keep, then everything falls apart.
And therein lies the quandary. Will it fall apart?
Perhaps if Top Little is involved, he will see to it that we get what we're owed.
That's sensible. We ought to bring it up, huh?
Possibly, but I also think a city as established as Strasbourg, they may be able to maintain not following through with a few of their commitments.
All the more reason to share with Master Plolul.
We'll let them know what we've done.
Well,
The more
and
people know about the Guild of Goodwill's, good action, the heroics, then I think the less likely it is that they'll be able to get away with anything.
And I do think that we were witnessed by a great many down by the docks.
Well, we did get the attention of quite a few of them before we even headed out.
so if this all goes south, then we can always start a fisherman's, I don't know,
Protest.
union?
All right, so the plan is then, if you don't receive your payments, we shall unionize the docks.
Take that, Bezos.
Anyway,
Right now, they're not getting any bathroom breaks.
They bless the rivers every single morning, noon, and night.
well, it's a good point. Maybe we should start negotiating our own contracts, and perhaps work to be done should have an agreement prior.
We also weren't expecting to find a dragon if it had just been a crocodile. But
Right.
The terms would have had to change anyway.
I should be clear. I did just think it would be a nice little morning adventure fishing for a large beast.
Oh, and it was. I mean, here we are, early afternoon.
It's true.
The whole
but
day ahead of us.
But if you're going to be enterprising, we know that you spent a fair amount on all of that gross meat.
Oh, it was very, very cheap. Nobody
Either
wanted
way, it's an
that.
expense nonetheless. And if this is going to be an enterprising venture, then we should at least make sure that we have terms that are agreeable to all who are within the guild.
Are you saying I should have been reimbursed for the meat pile?
Quick
Absolutely.
check here. How much of the meat did we use and how much is still left in our bag?
A lot.
Oh no.
Oh no, we piled it all onto the disc.
No, you did not.
Like,
You
Oh.
remember because the spell only lasts an hour, so you're
Yeah,
like, we'll dole
had,
it out.
We had a lot more than we could pile at any given time.
Yeah.
Cyrus, I'm utterly thrilled that you reminded. Perhaps we ought to dump the rest of it into the river.
Well, let's dump it a little strategically.
Yes, I'm sure there will be a time where it will present itself opportune.
If you'd like to keep the rotten meat in your bag of holding, that's perfectly fine by me.
Yeah, perhaps we could, I don't know, be crafty, make a book out of it or something.
To match the skin book, of course.
Maybe at some point we have to impersonate some primitive.
Pile.
No, no, some primitive being, and we have to burn meat.
Yeah, and craft it into some sort of welcome toad.
Yes, but with evil beings.
Yes.
This is all starting to sound very unlikely.
I think they're just looking for a reason to not throw away the meat that was gone bad.
Well, there's no reason to throw it away if it's not burdening anyone.
Well, it is bad meat that you have jangling around in your bag.
Well, it is in a in its own holding
Right.
dimension.
I
It
don't
all
know
works
the
out.
rate of decay on that, I don't know.
You'll
Yeah,
find
what's
out.
Half-life on-
You'll find out how quickly meat decays in the astral pocket dimension.
There's got to be a clerk somewhere who's organizing all of these little cubby holes.
Yeah, we can ask Yusk about it tomorrow.
Sounds good.
why don't
Make an intelligence check or arcana check for me, Cyrus.
Oh, where are my dice? Oh, my dice are over there. Ooh, that's a natural 1, but I know I have a +4.
So 5
5.
could be days, could be years.
All right.
So, how shall we spend the rest of our day together?
I'm quite hungry and a bit tired. I could use, I don't know, perhaps lunch, an early lunch. Are any of you, are you all just fine and everything's great?
I'm feeling quite fatigued.
I could eat.
Took a lot out of me. The fight.
That sounds lovely to me.
So you. Oh, sorry.
I have an errand I can run. Not I'm not too famished. I ate before the excursion, and but I can pick up something along the way if I find myself a bit peckish.
I'm waiting on a delivery from the haberdasher. And aside from that and our visit with Ramadruul tomorrow, I don't have any other commitments.
Shall we return to the Royal Stag? So you can... What was that at?
Yeah.
So you can wait for your... What is it? Hat?
Yeah.
Got
Yes. Oh, I'm so excited.
a
for
fancy
this.
hat by the look on your face.
Oh, I'm so excited for this. I've tried a few hats over the past few weeks.
I've noticed.
I'm excited for this one.
Well, why don't we return so you don't miss it?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, he did say it would be 2 to 3 days, but this is the second or
How long has it been?
Yesterday.
day. It's been a day and a half by this point,
Okay.
so
Well,
it could be ready by this evening or tomorrow.
I think we're probably at that point of fantasy refreshing the Amazon.
But regardless, the 4 of you can return to the Royal Stag while Vinny runs an errand.
Did y'all not take much damage?
I took a
I'm
lot.
like, okay.
I took 17 damage.
Alright.
I pretty
Um,
much did no damage and took no damage. I did take some,
You
but
just paddle the boat back and forth.
yeah, I was like, look at me, maybe this is helpful.
As you enter the inn, Goblin is there. You haven't seen the owner again since, but he's there, waiting, just in the room, hands to his side, kind of waiting for you to return. It would seem. Hello. Back already. What can I get for you? Do you need Bastron? I can get you fresh linens.
Lunch would be great.
lovely.
Okay.
What did you say?
Food.
Lunch.
Lunch, easy enough to do. We could do tea and then lunch, if you like.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
Sounds
All
lovely.
right.
We have a Reuben. I'd love a good Reuben.
Well, I was doing cucumber sandwiches for the tea, but I could make a Reuben, or I could have the
All
chefs
right.
do it.
I'd love a cucumber sandwich.
Sure.
I'd love a Reuben.
Do you want them and the Reuben?
She can have the cucumber sandwiches. I'll go for the Reuben.
Right. Well, I'll be right back. I'll put that in with the chefs, and then I'll draw your baths. If you want to go to the dining room, I'll bring some tea.
It makes me so angry that this is always my favorite part of D&D.
The fantasy food. Fantasy R&R.
The fantasy R&R.
I'm not gonna lie. There's part of me that like
Love a
we're
little
role playing
tea.
all this, and I'm thinking through like recipes I might make later this week.
Cucumber sandwiches. Tea.
Yeah, John.
Little cream cheese and dill spread.
Yeah.
Oh,
Make
yeah.
me a
All right.
little cucumber sandwich.
So as you guys get prepared for an early lunch / tea time, Vinny, what are you doing? As you kind of split from the party for a bit.
Yeah, so Vinny, he wants to contact an old friend.
Sure.
And so he goes in search of, he basically goes in search of the hovel of the organization that friend worked with. And I know that there is one in Drasber, and I can't remember the name. But
Are you talking about to send them the mail? You remember that you're talking about the Broken Tusk?
yes,
That is in Oromont. You would be sending a letter to the Broken Tusk.
yes.
So
But
you need,
there's a place also in Drasber. Isn't there like an outpost in Drasber? No?
not that you know of.
Okay, so where would
Is
he
that not where
go?
we followed someone to pick up something? Like some mail and stuff?
Fairman's Momentary Missives.
Yeah,
That's the mail place.
That's the mail place. I need to know. Where would Vinny go to send a message to the Broken Tusk?
You could just write a letter and send it through the mail service, and it would go to the owner of the Broken Tusk.
and I could get it to my friend?
Possibly. I mean, you
So I
you
have
know
a criminal.
that you know that the owner of the Broken Tusk is in contact with the people that you need to be in contact with,
Okay.
and likely could pass on a message.
Okay, here we go. So he would, yeah, I guess if it was just that, I'm sorry, I got that wrong.
No, you're good.
Then he would go and write a message
Okay.
and send that to the Broken Tusk. Attention.
You don't have
His
you
colleague.
can you can write it and let me know that way.
Yeah, I'll
you
write
don't
that.
have to tell it to the table.
Perfect.
But just write it and tell me the contents. Vern, by the way, your letter. Are you putting it back?
What letter?
The letter that you left for
Oh
Vinny?
yeah, I put that away ages ago.
I know. Are you putting it back?
No, no.
Okay, you're keeping it?
It was a nighttime letter.
Okay, cool. I was just making sure I kept track of all the letters.
One of those, you know.
But easy enough. You come to Barrowman's momentary missives with your letter, and you see the young, pimply-faced teen Harry sitting at the desk. Hello, welcome to Barrowman's momentary missives.
Yes, hello. I need to send this letter to the Broken Tusk in Ormond.
Oh,
please.
Broken Tusk. Yeah, I have their address.
Okay, and how long do you think it would take?
Oh, travel time. Well, do you want to pay for express or do you want to take the road? Because we could send it by boat down to Riverbend and then through, but it's going to be more expensive.
Do you have an estimation on travel time to Ormond?
Oh, by the traditional route of the road?
Correct.
Oh, probably 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks.
Good.
It's quite a ways.
Okay.
You have to go down through Urungal and then back around through Elk River and then Wayosphere. It's quite a distance.
Okay.
It'll be about 1.5 weeks if you take the expressway, because it's about 6 to 7 days down
What's
river.
the cost difference?
Oh, well, so standard postage to Ormond from here for the traditional road would be about 4 gold, and probably about 7 gold for the express.
Well, I'll just send it the traditional way.
Okay. That will reach Ormond. I will find a runner for it immediately. That will be 4 gold, please.
Yes, 4 gold. Here you are.
Do you have a name of who might be sending it so my courier can tell them who it's from? Or do you want to write that on the letter? Or
Tell him the piece is sending it.
the piece? Okay. And you see him write down with a quill, ThePeece. The piece. Okay.
Right.
Well, have a good rest of your day, Mr. Peace.
Right. Good day.
And he goes back to, looks like he has this large, like, mail sorting kind of cubbyhole system behind him that he goes back to sorting mail in. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
No, that's it. I'll just go back and meet the rest of them.
Okay. By this time, they're probably just finishing up lunch. Cyrus is on his second Reuben, it would seem.
Yeah,
The rest of them are just finishing their meals and kind of lounging.
I'll say to the guy, to the help,
To Galdrin.
the
Goblin.
help.
Welcome back.
Yes, Goldrin. I'll take whatever you have most readily available
Oh,
for lunch.
sure. I'll talk to the kitchen staff. I'll be back in split.
Don't trouble yourself.
He like goes back into the back and then comes out with a platter of what looks to be Reuben sandwiches and some mashed potatoes.
Thank you very much. Delicious.
I would demolish that.
Yeah, so he eats and eats and eats.
How did your task go?
Hold on. Sprinkle some of this paprika over the potatoes first.
Oh.
Where did you get that?
There are ready spices available at this place. You know, there is obviously table salt and pepper, but there are some table spices
paprika
as well.
They
basically have
shoving the table paprika into his bag. Just over and over.
It's like the hotel like bath
It's got 8 shakers of paprika.
accoutrements.
Thank you, Cyrus. It went well, just sending a message back home.
What about?
Inquiring about some of the things that that perhaps Alin, on her next adventure.
Oh, right.
Trying to see if there's anyone who might know anything.
Well, best of luck to you on that. Do you think that your source will? Who is your source?
That would probably be a better kept secret.
Oh. Well, do you think that they will know anything then?
I am not certain that they will get back to me, but I'm fairly certain they will have information that we seek. I just don't know how much they will know, how helpful it'll be, or honestly, if they will even send a response at all.
They wouldn't?
I hope that they would. But we left on uncertain terms, and I wish that I had not left on such unfavorable conditions, but there was no other way. And so I seek forgiveness in this letter, and I seek reunification with my friend.
Oh, well, many, many best wishes on that.
Thank you very much.
Did you end up stating in your letter where they could send a reply to? Or are you assuming that they're going to send it to like one of your dead drops or something?
I would have said that we were likely to head for Urungal.
Okay, so just send it to Urungal?
Yeah, that I would be in Urungal, but that I would also try and reach out again in the future.
Okay, easy enough.
So, because I figure we are going back to Alin's. We had mentioned going back to Urungal.
Yeah.
That was the intended plan. Yes.
So, I think Vinny would have confirmed that with the team, but I'm pretty sure he did earlier. So.
Yeah, you guys had already confirmed it. That was the plan going forward.
Cool. Yeah. So hopefully we'll hear back when we get to Urungal, but it is a 3-week journey all the way to Oromond.
Is there anything else you guys would like to accomplish today?
I did hear about some petty theft in the southern fringe. We could investigate that.
Oh, we certainly could.
Are you guys wanting to journey to the southern fringe to investigate?
May as well see if we can assist.
Yeah, we
Yes,
could
I'm
do
not
that. We
opposed.
could leave that one to Mr. Lactose, or Mr. Lactose probably needs some help.
Yeah, we could maybe find something out for Mr. Lactose.
We could ask, but I don't think the Mr. Lectos have anything to do with the southern fringe,
Well, we're
which is why they
waiting.
had mentioned to us.
Anyway, we might as well do something useful with our time.
Well, I have no more shopping to do.
That's true, and you're right. They do tend to leave the southern fringe alone.
Let's take a gander.
Shall we rest? Has everyone recovered their...
Yes, I'm not quite ready to go out again.
We shan't fight for this, certainly.
Let's rest a little bit. I do get arcane recovery.
Well, I'm sure that in this time there's been a short rest elapsed. So,
So,
If you need a short rest, you've probably short rested by now.
okay.
yeah,
we
we've
at least an hour to eat these
So
things.
if
I mean, if you're a warlock of Vinny, of course
Yeah.
we're short.
we're
resting.
short resting.
spin your
That's
hit dice as you would see fit. But yeah, you can get a long rest in during tea and crumpets.
A long rest?
A short rest. Did I say long rest?
You did say long rest.
Oh.
No, short.
As many
Thought
hit
that-
die as you have at this level, you have 5d10, I think.
Okay.
I've
Alright.
got D6.
That's fresh.
Wizard.
But it's okay because you don't have as much HP to make up for with those D6s.
Okay, yeah, rub it in.
It's much easier to accomplish gaining back all 12 HP with 5d6s.
Exactly. So I'm level 5 and I have 4 HP.
Lynn, how did you roll 132 just?
I was trying to roll 5d10, and that was not the right icon.
You probably rolled, what, 5d100?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what happened. So mystery solved.
Man, that is really low roll for 5d100.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I rolled 3 hit dice and got 1. I got almost exactly what I needed.
Nice. So, as you guys are calculating your short rest, you guys make your way out to the main thoroughfare and then crossing over south. You're good. Into the southern fringe, that categorical kind of not categorical, that kind of simple, tight together built architectural feel of buildings crammed up against one another, mostly of wood, not much stone, not much of the kind of clay, tan clay, wattle and daub, but mostly just wooden buildings. You're familiar with it from your brief excursion into it, chasing a lycanthrope with Iodon Padrotel. But you didn't really have much time to look around, but as you guys start to kind of look around, you notice a fair amount of half-orcs, a fair amount of humans, halflings, kind of going about their day, run-of-the-mill, seems business as usual, but you pass, so many food stalls of just like kind of popped up against certain alleys or streets, if you want to call them streets, but pretty much all the streets here are alley-sized. With all sorts of food, from corned sausage to beef stew to turkey legs. You pass pubs and bars. You pass a shoe shop called Harold's Boots. You do see a few temples off in the distance. You can't really tell what they are unless you want to kind of get closer. You pass a couple inns, Grin's Golden Hall, and a place with a very teeny tiny sign with like some white paint lettering on this like board that's just nailed to the door that says "a pot to piss in." Welcome to the Southern Fringe. What would you like to do?
What did the job say about the recent break-ins?
He essentially informed you that there have been just belongings that are valuable to the people here, not necessarily of great value, have been disappearing. Not the full, not everything in a house is gone. It wasn't like a clean thing, but like specific items were picked, and there has been no trace found of this seemingly cat burglar. It seems like the buildings were picked at random, but they are all over the south fringe. It looks like more the south east than the southwest.
Well, if we places like this, it seems that rumor will travel far. Maybe if we just go to the southeast portion and ask around, it feels like we'd have a decent amount of progress that way.
Yes, it doesn't seem like there's really much else we could do anyway.
I'm not one for locating small items. I am one for losing them, though.
Are you guys just looking for some people to ask around about these robberies?
Look for like a tavern in the southeast, maybe.
Sure.
What's that place a pot to piss in?
Is that that's not where things were stolen, right?
You have no idea if things were stolen from it.
No. I mean, like, is it in the right area?
What was the place we were before? That wasn't the Lighthouse, Lighthouse, was it?
That was in the
was-
main thoroughfair.
That was the nicer.
Yeah,
so
we're
we've not
in
stayed-
the lower.
You've never been to any of these ends before.
Oh, okay. I
Um,
thought we were the first night in Strasbourg, but
No, that was the mule stable.
the mule's table.
Also in the main thoroughfare.
Correct.
Now we are in.
They're like really.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're in the
The main thoroughfare is
mud hole.
fairly nice. It's just not hoity-toity.
Okay.
This is a very small strip up
Uh-huh.
against the southern part of the bridge of basically like really tall wooden buildings crammed up against one
Okay.
another.
So we're going to find like a tavern like place.
Yes.
Sure. Around that area, there are a couple taverns. You did pass that Grin's Golden Hall, and then there is another tavern that you see called the Noble Steed that has a kind of, the whole building is painted this peeling yellow that's like almost pastel at this point because the sun has kind of just dried it and took a lot of the pigment out of it. And then there's a lot of light that emanates from Grin's Golden Hall from the inside. That's the two ends in that area. If you want to enter one, you may. Or you can keep looking.
Does one look like particularly nicer than the other one?
I mean, both of these places look more hospitable than the aforementioned pot to bless. But I would say that
Lots of blessing.
I would say that the Noble Steed probably looks the nice with that kind of crappy coat of paint. It has a sign with a warhorse mid-rear on it.
I have to make this decision now. This is a character decision. But I'm going to keep using the word bless. And you can laugh. You guys can just make the pee-pee poo-poo jokes. But I'm a paladin. Y'all.
We love Alen.
Oh my god.
Paladin.
It's well, based on what Vinny told us, blessing the river was something that predated
Religion.
This whole journey. Predated religion. However,
I don't know.
Before Bahamut created the sun and stars,
okay,
people were peeing in rivers.
this is nothing.
This is not good radio.
Yeah.
Let's go in that yellow building.
Yeah.
Okay, the Noble Steed. All right, you enter.
Yes.
It is just kind of a simple interior. There are tables and chairs. It doesn't look like a bad place to lay your head, but it doesn't look like a too nice of an establishment. There is a big kind of portly half-orc kind of at the back of the bar, just, cleaning out a clay jug, it would seem, with a dirty rag.
And what's
I would-
it smell like?
It does not smell. It smells musty, like kind of like
Like old.
after it rains in a house that is wooden and doesn't have a great roof, and so there's kind of a little bit of must that kind of comes down from the
Mildew.
attic.
I would turn to Vinny and ask him, what's the best way to go about asking people that's not going to spook the thieves that we're looking for?
Good question. I think maybe we just have a drink and keep our ears open for a moment. Best to try and feel out the people that we would approach if we were to approach any. So, if they seem to be talking in low tones and secretive, perhaps we just are a little more careful with how we go about speaking to them.
As you guys enter, the orc catches your eye and sets down the jug. Welcome to the Noble Steed,
And then
best inn in the southern fringe.
Thanks. You heard about old Snaggletooth?
No.
No. Well, that's unfortunate.
Is he another half orc
Something like
with
that.
broken tusk? It would make sense for.
I'll have a glass of red wine, please.
it's not that
Coming right up.
Oh, Cyrus, I don't know if this is the place for that.
Pulls out a dusty pitcher and sets it on
Ew.
sets it on the table and pours you almost see-through glass of red wine. Hands it over.
Yummy.
That's vinegar.
That'll be
And
12.
I'll have a beer.
That'll be 12 copper, fancy boy.
Oh, 12 copper.
It's wine. That's fancy drink. Beer. Beer I can do.
It's got wine in it.
Beer.
Taps
And you
a
won't
keg.
hear me whining about it. I'll give him 12 copper.
He takes it. 3 copper per beer. No, 2. 2 copper.
Okay, and then Vinny would quietly kind of whisper toward Vern and Alin and say, "We don't want to show our cards too quickly here. Let's maybe keep our conversation to a minimum while we're here, until we learn more about who we're talking to.
Why is that?
Well, in places like this, goodwill can only get you so far. Rapport is what you need. And we are very new, and I'm not saying that this is a bad establishment, but if we're looking for seedy characters, it will take us some seedy places. And it's better to let them show their cards first, so that we know how to play.
As you do take in the tavern, there are other patrons there. You see in the corner there are 2 half-orcs in a intense game of dragon chess. Looks like they're both staring at the board. Neither of them have moved for a while, so someone is holding up the table. There are a group of 3 humans in kind of just stained travel garb, drinking. There is in a corner booth a little goblin with a very large pitcher of beer. And then there are a few halflings at a table who seem to be eating kind of like a midday meal.
And Vinny would, at some point where it wasn't conspicuous, would put dirt back on everyone's clothes.
I don't know. Does compressed-digitation do that?
I don't know, but it's worth it.
It's a
You
catch-all,
can
right?
clean or soil
Yeah.
an item.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I
You
have
can
definitely.
soil something.
I have definitely used press.
Yeah, clean or soil. There we go.
Just
Love it.
Did I
soil
use the
someone's
word
clothes.
soil or did I use the word soil? I used the word soil.
You did. You did use that word.
I
Soil.
love soil.
Speak.
We had just taken baths. Look down at my dirty clothes. I guess this is for the best then.
I'm just trying to keep our options open.
It makes sense.
So, what brings you hoity-toities down here?
Pardon me, but do I look hoity-toity to you?
Well, Cyrus did order a glass of red wine.
Yeah, he ordered wine when he said,
And I got mostly a glass of salt water,
"Hey,
but I'm not saying anything.
that's straight from the royal stock it is."
I'm sure it is.
Well, I'm no hoity-toity at all. I stole this armor. I did steal it.
Okay.
Vinny, hearing this, puts his arm on her shoulder and casts guidance and prays to his patron.
What are you trying to do with this?
She has to roll deception or something.
He believes you. He doesn't care.
Oh.
He's kind of like, and?
And just punched the girl wearing it. Just punched her down and I took it.
Uh-huh.
Punched her down.
Trying to
already-
establish some street credibility. I respect it.
I saw her do it. It was terrifying.
Well, that may be what brings you down here to old Maladark.
Well, just a drink. We will find an open table and
Sure. Sit wherever, I don't care. You need rooms for the night?
no, that will not be necessary. Just
Sure. I just cleaned them out of bedbugs. Bedbug free, guarantee. You won't get that at Grin's Golden Hall. He has bedbugs galore.
I'm sure you won't.
Well, we'll discuss it.
He kind of grumbles and goes back to cleaning his clay pitcher.
So what do we look for, Venuthra?
Let's just find an empty table or space in the midst of some of the patrons here, and
Can I go up to the table of halflings?
Sure. They're all kind of eating and stop mid bites and just kind of look at this very tall, armored woman.
Super tall.
Hi. Hello. Can
Good day,
we help
little
you?
masters.
Hi.
I was wondering, are there any streets that you guys tend to avoid?
Oh. All of them? I mean, you're in the wrong place if you're trying to avoid streets.
Then what are you doing here?
We live here.
You live here?
Yeah.
Oh, let's say that there was some crime happening.
Yeah.
What street would you, if I told you someone had gotten robbed, then where would you think that it happened?
All of them.
Okay.
Do you have any other criteria?
Yeah. Like a string of robbery. Like,
yeah, open the.
Oh, you're
advanced
talking
filter.
about the kind of what's been going on with all the
Yes.
little items
Yeah, let's
missing.
work with
Yes.
Boolean operators.
Yes. Yes.
Open the yellow pages.
Yes.
I
Yes.
mean, I've had some friends who have had stuff stolen. The Temple of Arvarine has had a few things stolen. You could check out
Oh,
the temple.
Yeah.
Some relics.
okay.
I think they took the pot from a pot to piss in.
Oh, no.
I knew we should have.
What was in it? What was in the pot?
You'll have to find it. All sorts of
Like, it won't
stuff.
be a surprise.
It's mostly happening in the southeastern, but it's strung out. There are some to the west and right smack dab in the middle of the river.
Well, that is a million times the information that I had before. Thank you. What are your names?
Oh, yeah, I'm Harold. These are my buddies. I don't know the names. Jerry.
Yes.
And Bertrand.
Jerry.
Safe.
What's the deal with a pot to piss in?
No.
Yeah, Jerry, the germaphobe, would not be happy with the Southern Fringe. Jerry Seinfeld's a notorious germaphobe.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Let's talk more about Spell.
Yes.
Anyway, 3 halflings. They all seem very cool. Jerry and Bertrand. Thank you, gentlemen. This has been enormously helpful. I hope I can help the temple and everyone else who has been thieved from.
Oh, sure, yeah. Yeah, you should go talk to the priestess there. She's great. We all
How do
go.
you mean?
Well, I mean, she's very devout to Arvarine.
Oh, right.
Arvine.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that.
That's a halfling god of war.
Oh.
The wary sword. Kind of the only god of martial prowess we have.
Huh. Do you feel strongly about this deity?
Well, I live in the Southern Fringe, so I'm gonna pray to Arvarine.
Okay. Well, I will pray for you too.
Okay, what's your name?
My name is Alin.
Okay, well, nice to meet you. We're gonna go back to lunch, but let me know if you have any other questions. We haven't eaten for like an hour, so
Oh, please. I
starving.
understand. Get back to it. And
Yeah,
I
they just-
leave and walk up and leave.
Dig in. It's like kind of like where they gets an animal gets so focused on one thing that it just ignores everything else in the room. That's like watching halflings eat. They just everything is dead to them besides that.
Yeah.
During all of that, I would have sat down at an empty table
Mm-hmm.
and just tried to listen.
Sure. Make a perception check for me.
I would be doing the same thing, potentially with bells.
Okay. Make
16.
a perception check as well. 16.
I'm looking for it.
7.
7. Then you catch snatches of you kind of sit up against the wall and you hear snatches of kind of what seems to be the goblin talking to himself, and he kind of hiccups, seems like he's a little bit drunk, and he's just like,
Maybe I should go out with all those raiding goblins. City life ain't for me. No. You got a good thing going here.
that's what you hear.
Oh no.
Great. I love it.
He's a criminal.
Bells, you hear the three humans, you overhear them kind of talking in their cups a little bit, and one of them says, are you going to Last Chance tonight? I feel like I'm pretty lucky. And the other one goes, I'm poor. Wife's kicked me out too. I'm gonna have to stay in one of these places. Whatever will be cheapest. I'm afraid to even say it. The other one just starts laughing, implying that he's gonna have to stay at the notoriously cheap inn that has no longer even has a lavatory, apparently. You overhear the half-orcs talking, and they're mostly just talking about work. It sounds like one of them's a warehouse worker, and the other is like a butcher's, not apprentice, but assistant. They're mostly just complaining about work. That's what you hear.
Then you hear
Okay.
one of the halflings like, "There's no pot. What do you piss it?"
Oh.
Of course, there's gonna be something.
A
We're
very,
living in a society here.
very tall halfling with curly hair walks in, kind of having this weird sway to his gait. Almost falls over.
Levels, Jerry.
Levels. I found this pot.
Seinfeld halfling confirmed. We need to have John on Comedians in Cars getting coffee now.
Oh, I don't like any of it.
Well,
Did anyone note everything before Seinfeld halflings?
yeah, we were listening in.
I'm sorry. All
Bells
of
and I
that
were
came
listening.
from just naming one of the halflings Jerry
Jerry.
off the cuff.
Yep.
Yep.
That's what you get. The better reference is the fact that the Adventure Zone had Jerry the halfling, who was like a mafia boss.
Yeah,
Forgot about that.
yeah, that's right.
Maybe this is that Jerry. Multiversal Jerry's.
Well, there's another
God.
halfling here named Cosmo.
Oh, no.
All right.
No.
So getting
We're going too far.
Stop.
Too
You
far.
two,
All right,
get
so
out.
Vinny,
I'll go home.
This is our home.
No, it's a professional studio, GD.
Yes, it's funded by Mr. YouTube. Don't you remember?
Right.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right. Please let Jeremy play. He's been trying to get something.
Jeremy's trying to role play.
Okay.
yeah, no, Vinny. No, I feel bad for RP.
No, I'm trying to do it. Please.
Do it.
I need
Okay.
you to.
That's the bread.
I could
and
do
butter
Seinfeld
of your
jokes,
parents'
too.
No.
favorite-
It's just that I've been waiting for like 3 weeks.
We're done with Seinfeld jokes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So anyway, he hears the goblin and approaches the goblin and says, and he's at this point casted guidance on himself. He said, "Excuse me.
Yeah.
I heard you mention some of your friends were going out on raids, and well, me and my friends are looking for a little work in the raiding territory.
Uh-huh.
They have need for any help?
Maybe. I don't know.
Where might I find some of these raiding goblins, as you say?
They're up and down the river. Hills.
In the hills?
Yeah, hills. River.
And where do they raid?
Villages.
Drasper?
Roads. Strasbourg, no, too big.
All right. Thank you for your information.
You can buy me a drink, please.
Buy you a
I
drink.
gave you words, you buy a drink.
Right. Well, maybe it's time for
Drinky. Goblin wants drinky.
right. Vinny just walks.
He's making a
Turns
scene
around.
at this point.
How can you say no?
Right, you can have mine. And he lets him finish it.
He just downs it. 1 gulp.
Roll a nat
That was enough for me to walk away.
on your persuasion. Drinky.
That works.
Well, I came up empty-handed. How did we?
But he did say something going here.
He had what?
He said he had something good going in Drasburg.
It
Did
is,
he?
yeah, city life. I don't know. It seems like he's gone straight. It doesn't look like it's fitting him very well here.
I don't know that anyone in this establishment has gone straight.
Perhaps. Anyone want to buy him a drinky?
Yeah, I think if we just fish a little bit longer, we'll find something in the seedy underbelly here. I'll buy him a drink. You drinking red wine?
Huh?
Well, that's what you're getting.
Whoa, what? Hi.
Round of red wines over here.
Okay.
That'll be 12 copper. Mark it
All
off.
right.
He kind of sniffs it.
What is this?
It's mostly salt water. This is Drasburg, though.
Okay.
Come on.
Tosses the whole thing back.
Yeah, pretty good for a shot.
So what's this good thing you got going here?
What do you mean?
So you got a good thing growing.
Growing?
Going.
Oh, well, I do have a little garden. I don't have anything going. I just work. I sweep.
What's your work? What's your line of business?
I like to sweep. I sweep for shoe place.
Shoe place.
Yeah, they make shoes. Cobbler, that's the word.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, it's kind of hard to think.
You ever heard of Old Snaggletooth?
Snaggletooth. Yeah, that's that big half orc. Hangs out at the temple of the cave mother. Yeah, he's mean.
Okay, maybe this is a dead end, y'all.
What's your passive insight?
I think it's like 11.
Yeah,
Pull it up.
he's smashed and has no idea what he's talking about.
Okay. This might actually be a dead end.
What's your name, by the way, fella?
Tot.
Tot. Alright, I'm Cable.
Yeah, Lul, you might have heard of me.
Okay.
Kind of a big deal around here.
Oh, is that why you have fancy red shots?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you give me another one of those.
No.
No, I can tell you about cobblers.
No, I think next we'll just get you a ride home.
Oh, right.
We'll call you an Uber.
What's, okay?
Do it.
Every time you do this,
Call
you're
your
gonna
bluff.
have to explain what an Uber is in game.
To summon.
An Uber is a word in Steichen used for carriage.
Yeah.
Or sorry, Startike, not
It's
Steichen.
someone driving the horse and carriage, just like Kramer was filling in for his friend during the rye bread episode. But okay,
Stop.
I'm stopping.
You're
Stop
right.
it.
You're right. I should go home. I have to water my daisies.
You've
Good
got
day.
a wife and kids.
No, I don't, but good day, Tot. I've had enough.
You
Yes.
have.
You know?
He gets up really unsteadily,
And you're going to wake up in the morning and you're going to be a respectable member of society.
That's right.
Yeah.
and he promptly right onto your shoes and then falls onto your shoes.
That's okay, Vinny, if you will.
You got yourself into this one.
You have cantrips, my friend.
Just come on. And we, I don't know, unless anyone else wants to.
You know what? Now is my time to shine.
I'm gonna approach the bartender.
Another round.
Yes,
Okay, that's going to be 2 copper pieces.
I'd like 2 rounds.
That's going to be 4 copper pieces.
Excellent, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Say,
Huh?
who's getting what stolen around here?
What do you mean? Like
I keep hearing about small knickknacks going away.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Valuable items, sentimental usually. Old, necklaces from mothers and stuff like that.
I need to pause for a moment.
I have to sell a base right now. I'll be right
Just explaining the things that are being stolen.
Okay.
Rolling.
A couple of religious artifacts from the Temple of Arborine. Rings. Stuff of that nature. Portraits.
Vern drinks one of his 2 drinks.
It's not that good.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah.
So, what's the scuttlebutt on what might be doing it?
Oh, who do I think's doing it?
You or whoever's been in here thinks doing it.
Don't know. Haven't really thought about it.
Not heard any word around town?
Maybe the pardoning. They have a few operatives who kind of come up here north.
The pardoning?
Uh-huh.
What is that? I'm unfamiliar.
They're a group of scoundrels, thieves, outlaws.
They take only sentimental items?
No. They have this whole malarkey about being free to do whatever they want.
Oh, so it's taking minor items?
No, they do all sorts of stuff. Smuggling, sometimes assassinations, stealing, robbing.
Excuse if I'm misunderstanding. This does seem like small potatoes for such an organization.
All I know is that a few of them folks sometimes stay around here.
Cause trouble.
Yeah, they don't really... They're more central to the ascendancy, but we have a few folk here that sometimes cause some trouble.
Anyone else?
That I could think of that would be doing this?
Yes.
Well, there's old Nine Fingers.
I'm sorry, I was already thinking of the Van Buren boys.
Old Nine Fingers.
Yeah, he's not that old. And he has technically 11. They don't count the thumbs, so therefore he's got 9 fingers.
Good grief, Tyler.
Old Nine Fingers, who is known for also stealing minutia.
Uh-huh.
What kind of a place is this?
I don't know. You looking for him?
Maybe just gathering up some information, see if we can help some folks out.
Kind of looks behind you. Oh, he's right there. He points to a passed out goblin on the ground.
Hey, everyone.
You do see that he does indeed have 9 fingers.
And 2 thumbs.
Hey, I'm just going to kind of pick him up by his coat, I guess. This is old Nine Fingers.
He's not that old, but we call him that because it sounds better, I guess.
Sort of like old Snaggletooth, right?
Yeah, that... Wait, you already asked me about that. I don't know him.
And you never will.
Okay.
He was a dragon and we killed him. Anyways.
He's gone forever.
Sure.
In any case, old Nine Fingers is a hard maybe.
Yeah, I don't think we want the burden of old Nine Fingers. You can leave him where you found him.
Well, he comes in most days when he's not gardening.
Maybe we catch him on a day where he's not so in his cups.
Yeah, you have to get here pretty early for that, but okay.
Well, this feels not unproductive, but not quite productive either.
Well, we heard that they stole the pot at the pot to piston. We might as well go ask there. We know that there's actually been a robbery.
That's true.
It's really brought business down there.
Well, they lost.
They
They lost
their piss pot.
They lost
their pot
the
to
token of their brand.
It's in the name. You expect at least a pot to piss in there. Right?
There is something ironic about the symbol of poverty being stolen.
That's
Nah.
true. Well, thank you.
Okay.
The beer was beer.
Delicious.
Yep, and that's what you'll get here. You'll get beer at the Noble Steed, finest inn in all of the Southern French. Tell your friends.
No bed bugs, correct?
No bed bugs, and we got wine.
I feel like if you have to specify that you have no bed bugs, there may be some history there that is. Well,
I just cleared them out last week. I told you that.
there we are. Okay. Thank
Well,
you.
let's go.
To the pot.
You're going to the pot?
How do you? Okay. All right. Jeremy, the player, to John and Hayden and Liz and Rachel, the players.
Yep.
How do you not go to a place called a pot
Yeah,
to
I
piss
mean, we
in?
got at least.
How do you
that's-
not
that's
go
true.
there?
We got to
That's
do a
true.
pot to piss in, pop in for sure.
And
Pop
can we
into the
also
pot to piss
acknowledge?
in.
Can we also acknowledge if you specify there are no bed bugs? That's like specifying this house is definitely not haunted.
Yeah.
John, you have experience with bed bugs.
I do. They're bad.
And as you guys are starting to head towards
Thanks, Tyler.
your next destination, that's where we're going to end tonight's episode.
All right.
We're sorry, everyone.
We're going to just all of the
This was a little bit trash.
seediest underbelly of Strasbourg. No one wants to go here.
It's like some seedy underbelly RP too. Just like real.
There's a lot of stuff to do here if you,
Scraping the bottom
if you
of
look
the
around.
Fingers.
We
I
will
I
find.
would perfectly get that.
We will find some bad stuff to do.